guys, welcome back to the Community Cares Podcast. I'm Dave. I'm the Executive Director here at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet.
And I'm Chaplain Chaz Blackburn, and I have the honor of being the president of Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. And today we have one of our friends from one of our favorite organizations. We've had Oscar Delgado on, and I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Irene Mejia, WIC Program Manager at Community Health Lines.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, we really appreciate it. What we do here, if this is your first time listening or watching to the Community Cares Podcast, we highlight community resources and talk about events going on in the community. And the purpose of it is we want to make sure you have the opportunity to be a part of what's happening, right? There are so many resources, and every single week I feel like I learned so much more. We're on episode, I think it's 55 this week.
We've been doing this for 55 weeks together.
I know, dude. It's crazy. But, I mean, that just the fact that we're able to do what we're doing, we're able to get these resources out to the community is such a blessing.
I meet people all the time that are like, hey, I saw you on the show and I didn't know this. And that's awesome.
That's literally what it's all about,
Yeah.
is educating the community, right?
Yeah.
Including myself. Like, there's lots of times where we come on the show and we had no clue that CHA or other organizations do all the things they do.
It's really nice, too. Another purpose is we're stronger united, and especially when we're going through different turbulent times, like a shout out for all the families affected by the fires right now.
Right.
You're in our thoughts and or prayers, depending on our beliefs, and we just really, our hearts go out to you, and just know we're here to support you and any of your family members or friends who need us. But that collaborative effort in building relationships is super important.
And just know, if you're affected by the fires, you can always come down to Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. All of our hours are listed on getclothes.org. You can get free clothing here. Please come down if you need clothing. We're also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. And we are also on YouTube and Facebook. Yeah. But video-wise, we're on Spotify, YouTube, and Facebook. You can see and interact
I didn't know
with
that
us.
for Spotify.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Isn't that crazy? And then, but on Facebook, very specifically, we go live and you can ask questions and be a part of what we're doing. So thank you guys for being a part of what we're doing. Just type in Community Cares Podcast and we're the first thing that comes up.
I did want to give a shout out. It was really sweet. It just shows what an amazing community we have. We had a lady, actually Robin texted me, who's our treasurer. She said, what are we doing additionally for fire victims and their families? And I said, so I called her, and she said, we had a lady that just came with a bunch of toiletries. She saw a post on Nextdoor, and she wanted to help support those families. I thought, man, that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. That is what it's all about, is people coming together and making things happen. And thank you, the viewer and listener, for supporting us to do what we're doing. We're going to start with 3 events that are happening in our community.
The first one is the biggest little Latin festival. It's going to be on Virginia Street in front of the El Dorado, and that is September 13th through the 14th at 4 p.m., and it goes all the way till 10 p.m. I'm sure they're going to have some great music and hopefully some ceviche and some good times. You okay over there?
Yeah, I realized I'm not a fish. I shouldn't breathe water. That's not a good idea.
And this must be a relatively new festival. I personally hadn't heard of it. I love Fiesta on Wells. Have you gone to Fiesta on Wells, you were saying?
Yes, we've done Fiesta on Wells. Actually, the WIC department goes and tables out there.
That's awesome.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, last year there was a bunch of dignitaries and just a good community time. I will say, though, they didn't have the ceviche truck that they had the year before. I was so sad. But there's still great food, tacos. So please bring the family out and just enjoy all the resources and booths. And it's always a good time.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. Why we highlight these events is to encourage you, the listener or viewer, and myself too, to go out and be a part of what's happening in the community, right? It's good to know and be around other human beings. It's really tempting just to stay at home and do nothing. It really is.
I was going to say, sometimes it's good to be around human beings.
Sometimes, yeah. We'll get into that later probably. But it's hard sometimes to really do accurate self-care, I think. And I think in America, we really struggle with that. I know I do. I struggle with that a lot. We were talking about that before we started recording.
Yeah.
How, some of us that are just going are really bad at just realizing, hey, it's okay to take a breath. It's okay to take a day off. It's okay to say, all right, the world will still run if I don't do anything today.
Yeah. That time of rest is super important.
Absolutely. So definitely come down to the biggest Latin festival that will be on Virginia Street in front of the El Dorado. They're going to shut down the street, and it's going to be a great time. It'll be on the 13th and 14th between 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. It should be a great time. So definitely make a point to support your community events. The next event we want to highlight.
The second one?
The next event we want to highlight is Raise the Roof to Ease Poverty.
Ooh.
September 14th, 11:30 to 1:30. St. Vincent's Food Pantry at 500 East 4th. Raises the Roof to Ease Poverty, and the Catholic Charities Nevada annual fundraiser that raises money to support ongoing services. The ticket is $20, and it's definitely a great time and raises money for a good organization.
What a great cause. That's
doing a lot in our community. Their food pantry and their vaccine services that they came to our event, right? Mm-hmm. And all the different things they've done. It's been a great partnership with them in that way, and what they're doing really matters.
It does. I'm going to give that one the fireworks. Let's see, is it going to do it?
Is it going to work?
Oh,
I don't know,
dude.
It just thumped.
There it goes. Our guest is like, what is he doing? What did I show up for?
Sometimes I feel bad for our guests.
I know.
Don't feel bad for me.
Chaz and I are goofballs. It's an issue. But definitely come and support the St. Vincent's Food Pantry on 500 East 4th. They're a great organization that's really trying to make a difference in the community.
Absolutely. I can't see the third event.
The third event is Dancing on the River on the West Street Plaza. West Street Plaza, First in Arlington. Reno, get ready to move to the rhythm of the river. Dancing on the River kicks off from 4 to 9 p.m. at the West Street Plaza, downtown Reno.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, they do it a couple times. It looked like a pretty cool event. So it's a recurring event, and they have one coming up pretty soon. And I don't think the date populates here, but just look it up online. It's a great event, and it really is an opportunity to be out in the community, be out with other human beings. And I think I was talking to the head of the ballroom dancing of Reno, ballroom of Reno, and she was telling me all these statistics on dancing, and especially dancing with your partner, and what it does mentally for you.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of psychological benefits.
Even for dementia patients, or to prevent or kind of ease some of the symptoms for dementia, it helps tremendously.
I did not know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. So definitely just being with people, going out, going to the river, having a good time, especially as it's getting cooler. It's not as hot now, which is nice. I mean, today was hot, but overall, this next week is going to be cooler, I think.
We don't like that hot, but we like the salsa hot. There's salsa, right? Or is that salsa dancing?
I don't know, dude.
It says salsa. I was thinking, I'm always thinking about food. I got one more plug in the event to go over. That's okay.
Go ahead.
I am on the state task force of Nevada for Suicide Prevention Month. And so I want to give a shout out. It is September, and tomorrow, September 10th, is actually the World Suicide Prevention Awareness Day. And so if you're struggling with suicidal ideations, please, call 988. There's some great resources out there. September 11th, we are doing the Circle of Life 3rd Annual Believe event. Yeah. It's a candle lighting remembrance ceremony, and it's going to be the biggest year ever. And we're doing it down at the Believe Sculpture, downtown Reno. And that'll be from 6 to 8 p.m. And we're going to be honoring, we have a full color guard. We have Rec to Remember. We have a Mental Heart recipient who's going to say a few words for all of our fallen veterans, both in service and out. And then we're going to have Chief Nance of RPD, Reno Fire Department, REMSA. They're going to be saying a few words about our first responders, the Great Basin Chaplain Corps, retired Fire Chief Scott Baker, who leads our CISM team. And then we're going to open it up to the community. We have a few children giving testimonies. And then for those who attend, they get to share memories about their loved ones. We do a beautiful remembrance. There's an opera singer. I mean, you're going to be playing guitar some of the time, acoustic.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. And
Little
my chaplain Jesse said to remind you to bring your cord to plug in.
So I was hoping to bring my electric. I won't go crazy with my electric, but I have some loop stuff I'd like to do.
Okay.
Is that okay?
I don't
I'm
know.
asking you on air right now.
We'll
so
see. It's got to really match
it's
the
tasteful.
mood.
It's tasteful. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's chill. It's chill.
Oh boy. And but anyway, seriously though, we're gonna have a bunch of resources. Nevada Donor Network, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, VVA Chapter 989. Actually, Wake Up Nevada is going to be giving out Narcan and have recovery, different resources. So please bring the family out. Free face painting, plastic axe throwing for the kids, candy. I'm sure that's what you want to give your children at 6 or 7 at night.
Absolutely.
But come on down and let's just honor our loved ones. And it's such a unifying event, no matter what walk of life we are, because we all grieve, and it's important to know we're not alone. And we're also going to recognize September Suicide Prevention Month.
What a powerful event! I love that event, and I'm honored to be able to be a part of it. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I think it's super cool. Last year, it was very powerful. We had a lot of people. You guys had a lot of people speak in the mics and just talk about how they had loved ones that are no longer with them, but they're able to just have a public, I guess it almost felt like a public conversation, and just be able to say, hey, I'm struggling with this still, even because it doesn't matter how long it's been since you've lost someone.
Right.
Loss is loss, period. And to just be able to have that public conversation and say, like, hey, this is where I am, this is what's going on, is super, super powerful.
Well, and there's just so much power in our stories, and our stories matter, and to know we're not crazy, and to be able to just know that we can move forward together. We never move on, but we move forward. There's something really special about it.
Absolutely. The last 2 years really blew me away, so thank you for doing that in the community.
Yeah, absolutely. We're honored. All right, Miss Irene. So we, or is it Mrs.? I'm so sorry.
Miss.
Okay, Miss Irene. Tell us a little bit about your organization and why you do what you do, and maybe some of those roots, and why you're inspired to keep moving forward.
Okay, so yes, my name is Irene. I'm the WIC program manager at Community Health Alliance. So I specifically work with the WIC department. For all of you who don't know, WIC stands for Women, Infants, and Children. So we serve women, infants from birth up to 1 year of age, and then for children up to the age 5 years of age who are at nutritional risk.
Which is so important.
It is. We definitely try, a lot of people think about WIC and they think about food. We do a lot more. We provide nutrition education, breastfeeding education, referrals to other agencies such as the Good Shepherd. And then we partner with a lot of organizations to provide those services to our community.
Yeah, I think it's so important too when we talk about nutrition. When babies are in that infant stage, proper nutrition can literally dictate the level of how healthy they can be for the rest of their life.
You're absolutely correct. And what we try to do is, yes, we serve the infants, but we are providing the education to the caregivers, or whether that's mom, dad, grandparents, foster parents, and they take that information home, and then, they expand it to the rest of the family, which is great to see.
That can have shockwaves of impact over generations.
Correct.
So
yes.
I love that. So how'd you get started with CHA?
So actually studied a little bit of nutrition, and then started as a WIC, what we call WIC eligibility worker, providing the services one-on-one to our participants. That's how I got started here at WIC. And I love what I do. It's awesome to serve our community members, provide them the services that they need. And we actually have 7 different locations that we are able to offer these services from.
Wow.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So what inspires you to want to do what you're doing?
What inspires me? That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think it's, again, just providing those services. And like you mentioned, for example, sometimes you think that something is, everybody knows this information, and it's not. Once you provide that basic, what we say basic nutrition education to our participants, and they're just kind of blown away. That's pretty rewarding. You know, that you provide this information and they go home, they make a change. We see them again, and you can actually, based on our data, we can see that they actually made changes.
That's incredible. Yeah. I think a lot like Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet, it's not just about nutrition or providing clothes and it's education, but it's also that experience of that one-on-one and just letting them know that somebody cares and that you're there for them. I mean, that act of kindness can be life-changing for some people.
Yes, and it's amazing because some of these families actually look forward to their WIC appointments because they've already established rapport with our staff. You know, they look forward to like, hey, this is what
CHA.
happened. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, they look forward to sharing whatever has happened in the last 3 months since they last saw us, and you know,
That's
updating
awesome.
us. So yeah, it's awesome to build those relationships.
Honestly, I didn't know CHA had a WIC program specifically.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that's what WIC meant.
Yes.
Women's, infants, and children.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I had no clue.
Yep. And we are actually the largest WIC provider in Northern Nevada.
Wow, I did not know
yep,
that. That's
we do.
amazing.
Yeah, and like
That's
I said,
crazy.
you know, yeah, we serve these families at 7 different locations. 4 of them are based inside the Community Health Alliance health centers, which is nice because we can do warm handoffs. You know, refer our participants to, you know, do they need healthcare? Do they need dental? Food pantry, and then we also partner with Community Services Agency, which are Head Start, some of the Head Starts. So we have 2 WIC offices inside their locations, and we also partner with Ronald McDonald, and they actually provide the Ronald McDonald Care Mobile, which you might have seen out here in the parking lot. Yep.
It's
so
been
that
out
is,
this parking lot before, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yep. So that is actually WIC. We're
That's
out
awesome.
here. We're out here Mondays and Tuesdays, offering WIC services. So we have a pretty close relationship with the welfare department as well.
That's great. We actually had a Community Health Alliance event here at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet, and they were confused because they saw the Ronald McDonald vehicle over by the welfare office, and they're like, "Are they in the wrong spot?" It's like, no. That's a completely different thing. Like, it's great what they're doing. Awesome. But no, our thing with Silver Summit and Community Health Alliance was a very, very different thing. So,
It happens all the time.
but it's great to be able to have those services out to the community. And so with the Ronald McDonald van, what services are provided there for people?
So we offer WIC services on the Ronald McDonald Care Mobile. So yeah, just WIC services, Monday through Friday. Like I said, we're out here.
Yeah.
When I say WIC services, that includes nutrition education, breastfeeding education. We do health assessments, so we measure the children, check their hemoglobins, again, offer resources or referrals to other community agencies. And we actually hold quarterly dental screening events.
It's important.
Different locations in the community. We do that once quarterly. So we partner with our dental department. Actually, we have a dental hygienist who comes out, does the dental screenings, applies fluoride varnish, and then the dental department follows up with the children who need additional dental care.
Wow.
Those are the small things, not small things, but the big things that a lot of us can take for granted. I know that I see sometimes you guys do adult dental days, which is such a gap in service in our community. I mean, when you don't have dental insurance, which doesn't even cover that much, it's very expensive, and your dental health can affect everything.
It definitely does, even starting from those women who are pregnant. I mean, it's so important for them to get that dental care, even during prenatal.
That's huge. Real quick, Rob McLaughlin says, Matthew 25:35, I was hungry and you fed me. And then KJV said you gave me meat. I can tell that's definitely a dig at me.
Oh, because you're vegetarian. Okay. And that's Dave's dad that we were talking about. So.
Thanks, Dad. Appreciate that. But that's, you guys are just helping people where they're at. I want to ask, what does it take to be qualified to be able to be a part of your program?
So to qualify for the program, you have to be a woman who is pregnant. Doesn't matter how many weeks gestation. As soon as you know that you're pregnant, you can contact us, apply for services. Postpartum women, depending if they are breastfeeding, they can be eligible 6 months postpartum or up to 1 year postpartum if they are breastfeeding at least half of the time or more. infants from birth. As soon as they're 1 day of age, they can, if they can apply for services. And then we say infants up to 1 year of age, and then again, children up to the age of 5 years.
Yeah.
So you have to meet one of those categories. You have to be income eligible.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Yes.
Income, I'm sure, yeah, there are requirements based on income.
Yes. So, and actually, the income guidelines for WIC are higher than other public agencies.
Oh.
So even though the participants might not qualify for Medicaid, SNAP, or TANF, they might still qualify for WIC.
I didn't know that
that's
either.
good to
See,
know.
That's good to
Yes.
know.
That's
Yep.
really good to know.
Yes, it is. And and if they are receiving any of those services, Medicaid, SNAP, or TANF, they automatically qualify for WIC services.
Wow.
But we have a lot of working families, working mom, working
Oh, sure.
parents. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And just with the cost of living, those little differences make a huge difference.
Oh, they do. They make
Yeah.
a huge difference. And our participants also have to live in the state of Nevada.
Okay.
Absolutely. No, that's huge. And I think that's great to be able to offer that, especially for lower income families that are having babies that don't know, I mean, what am I supposed to do, right? And so that's huge. And where can people find out more about this program? Is there a website?
Yes, it's a Community Health Alliance online, or cha.org, I believe. Or they can always contact our main WIC office. Phone number 775-870-4343. We will do the pre-screening over the phone. We don't have an application. We just automatically, how many family members, what's the income, are you categorically eligible?
Right.
And then we schedule an appointment. We actually do not have a waiting list.
Whoa, that's great.
Nope, we don't. And again, we try to meet the participants where they are at.
So I was just going to say, so with our micro closets, that's our motto is
Yep.
we want to meet people where they're at.
Yes.
And something people don't realize is sometimes they, individuals or family members can't make it to the offices. So the fact that you guys can drive around to different locations so that everybody has an opportunity to take advantage of those services is wonderful.
Yeah, that's huge. Rob McLaughlin says WIC is doing good work for sure. Thank you all for what you do. Just a reminder for you listening, we have over 1,000 people that listen afterwards. If you're hearing this and you're like, what is going on? Why is there comments? How do I get in on that? You can listen live at 5:45 on Facebook, and we will talk about your comments. If you comment and you're part of it, we want to make sure that you are a part of this conversation.
So throw Dave a curveball or two.
A curveball. Yeah, you can talk about meat, I guess, but like...
That was fun. We had Grant Denton on, and I was teased. I said, "Yeah, there's a lot of political questions." He was like, "What?" I was like, "No, I'm just kidding. No politics."
Nah. Yeah, no, thank you so much for what you do. It's huge to be able to offer those services to, very vulnerable population. Mother and infants and children, that's very vulnerable, and that really matters. And it sometimes, I think in cultures, that's the population that can be forgot about. Just because we're all moving forwards, we're all so busy with our own personal lives. So, and you guys are really tackling a problem that is very important for our future, in my opinion. Like, our future needs more investment, and you guys are really investing in that. So thank you for what you do.
Oh, thank you. Absolutely.
Do you guys have any other events you want to share about, or anything other that you'd like to talk about?
I do have a couple things. We talked about having 7 different locations. We actually offer services at our renowned postpartum unit. So
wow.
Whoa.
Yep. So we are out there a few times during the week, meeting those moms who possibly were too busy during pregnancy, couldn't make it to an appointment, or they were not aware of our services. So we actually
Awesome.
work with our lactation consultants out on the postpartum unit and go door to door and offer
awesome.
our services.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yep. And our WIC program, what we do also is within the WIC program, we have what we call a peer counseling program, which we have 3 amazing individuals who do this, and they are actually, their main duties are to contact moms who are pregnant and thinking possibly about breastfeeding, and then mothers who have already delivered and they are breastfeeding. So they actually offer basic breastfeeding education, some of that emotional support for the moms when they're home alone. And we work very closely with our lactation consultant, or IBCLC, Lisa Wilson, who offers one-on-one and hands-on lactation consultations for those mothers who are having any breastfeeding issues.
And I think that's so important. I just want to make a comment. A lot of people, some people may not know this, but it's so much, there's so much more. Not every woman can breastfeed, but those that can, there's so many more benefits to natural breastfeeding. Is that correct?
That is correct. There's so many more benefits, and like you said, unfortunately, sometimes these mothers are not able to breastfeed, and we support the family whatever decision they make. But our goal is to provide the education, and that way they can make an educated decision.
Yeah.
I mean, they even give breast milk sometimes to cancer patients. I mean, there's so many benefits for brain development. And correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not. I don't do what you do. I'm not a dietitian or anything. So
You sure?
definitely not. You see, my dad bought. Oh, it's okay.
Buddy, no, you've been doing good though. You're eating breakfast. That's
I
what
know.
you've been saying.
And you had coffee this
I
morning.
had coffee. I know.
The
It's horrible.
No.
No.
Yeah, I'm breakfast town though. I gotta have my meals, man.
Yeah. It's good.
You're eating breakfast though?
Well,
Every day?
breakfast for me is a breakfast protein shake.
That's
better
that's
than
something.
just coffee, right?
Better than coffee.
Yeah.
Better than coffee.
Oh yeah, and that's important. But yeah, thank you so much for what you do and just sharing with our listeners what you're doing in the community and how they. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't ask yet. How can people get involved if they want to help, if they want to volunteer or be a part of? Wait, is there any way to volunteer or be a part of it?
Not necessarily with the WIC department, but
Sure.
Community Health Alliance is always looking for volunteers, especially for our food pantry
Okay.
locations. Yes, that one is.
And ways to donate for that too?
Donate. I'm not sure honestly
Okay.
because I know we go through Northern Nevada, the food bank.
Okay.
Northern Nevada.
Very
That's mainly
cool.
what we do.
There's
But
is there a way to financially donate to it?
I
To
believe
CHA?
there is.
I'm
Yes.
sure.
And
Okay.
thank you for bringing that up. Our CHA is actually looking to expand the Neal Road Health Center, which we hope to serve an additional 4,000
Wow.
patients
Wow.
a year and include in-person behavioral health, a food pantry, and pharmacy. So if you're interested in donating or finding out more about this project, please comment under our Facebook page,
Okay.
and one of our team members will reach out with additional information.
Okay, and I would like to just add one other way if you can help is just by spreading awareness and telling people about these programs and sharing this Facebook post and anything from CHA because awareness is key and
Yeah.
it really does matter. So
Absolutely. And I mean, just having these community conversations, I mean it. Every time we have a guest on, I learned something
yeah.
that I didn't know before.
I
And
didn't
so
know the bar was a little bit higher for that service
Right, and
versus other programs. That's good to know.
and that matters too,
does, yeah.
right? Because I mean, people may not know that. I didn't know that.
No, and it's, we try to educate the community when they say, I didn't qualify for Medicaid. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
let's try this and see if you qualify for our services. And sometimes a lot of these families are surprised.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's awesome.
That's huge. Rob McLaughlin says egg whites and a piece of toast is what he eats. There you go, Chaz. No?
I also take a probiotic pill and 2 ashwagandha in the morning and evening.
There you go. There you
Helps with all
go.
the stress.
Yeah, and you're multivitamin. You do a great job with that. But
I haven't been
multivitamins
taking that.
matter.
I need to get that. I know.
What? Your liquid one? You have a really nice one too, dude. I know. Oh, it's so good for you.
Okay,
It's
next Monday, I'm gonna
Next Monday.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
be able to report that I'm taking it.
Are you gonna be ready for that? I mean, health is such an important thing, and that's really what WIC is doing, is educating people on ways to be healthy and services and other things they might need to be able to remain healthy with their infants and children. And so that's really huge for women in our community. So thank you so much for all you do.
Yeah, no, thank you.
If you want to find out about more about the WIC program with CHA, please visit.
CommunityHealthAlliance.org or CHA.org.
One
Brilliant.
or the other. It's okay.
That's awesome. Yeah, so definitely check it out. Share it with friends and family, whoever else.
You gotta say our cliche.
And make sure to...
Be the change that you want to see in the world, and I think that your program definitely embodies that like ours. So thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and the Believe event downtown on September 11th is going to be an awesome event. So please make it a point to be down there.
48 hours away.
It's
less than 48 hours.
It's going to be awesome.
Can you believe that?
Oh my gosh. That was bad.
Had to get another dad joke in there.
I got to start ramping up.
I
with
know,
my
you're going to
little
be a
dude
dad
coming.
soon.
I know.
So.
But definitely come down, support the community, support what's happening. Rob McLaughlin, that's ashwagandha, not ashwa what. So thank you so much for being a part of it. If you want to find out more about Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet, please visit getclothes.org. Yes, it is getclothes.org. And
I love you guys.
we really do work hard to give away a lot of clothing to people in need. It's not working, dude. What are you doing? What are you doing? Rob likes your dad joke, by the way. He said awesome dad joke. I disapprove, but he approves. So
He's got some pretty bad, good dad jokes too.
He does. I agree. Yeah. So Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet, if you don't know what we do in the community, we give away a lot of free clothing to the people that need it most. Additionally, we have micro closets throughout the community, which include Eddie House and Bristlecone and other partners throughout Reno
Like
Sparks.
the Circle of Life Guest House.
Oh, that's right. Absolutely. I got to get better at that. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I know. You always give me a look. You're always like, Dave, don't forget. And honestly, Circle of Life Guest House is doing so much good in the community. That's another great organization to support if you are interested in supporting. And honestly, if you want to donate, we really do need your help to keep this mission moving forwards. Make sure to visit getclothes.org, hit the give button, and you can always donate to our cause. You can donate clothing, you can volunteer time. There's all sorts of different ways for you to be involved with what we're doing. So Irene, thank you so much for being here.
Yes.
It's been such an awesome time. Is there anything you wanted to add before we closed out?
No, thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We help 700 people a month.
More now.
Oh yeah, it is more. No matter what. We're asking you to come alongside and help one. All right, thank you guys.
Take care. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.